Okay, so I'm working on my Audi TT 2008 3.2 liter, and I'm pulling out the seats. We're gonna get a weight reduction, but found something interesting. So we got the airbag lockout adapter, which is supposed to stop the airbags from going off when you pull out the seat, because it'll trigger something in the wiring is supposed to trigger the airbags when you pull out the seat and disconnect this connection below the seat. So basically I've disconnected the wires. The battery's off right now. That's the first and foremost thing you should do. But take a look at this airbag lockout adapter. See that? See how there's 3 pins on the bottom? That is for input, okay? But check it out. I bought this from Snap-on Tools. And check out the output from the Audi manufacturer. Like, these are identical. Basically what's in my hand is what's in the floor of that car. This is essentially the airbag lockout adapter. So this is what we should be seeing on the airbag lockout adapter if this was relevant, if the airbag lockout adapter was relevant. But I'm starting to think it's not. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little risk here and assume that Audi was totally in their game. I'm taking a risk here. So assume that Audi was totally in their game and I had the right part. I mean, I looked it up from the Audi owner's manual. And so theoretically, this is the airbag that should deploy. So I've hooked up the battery and we're gonna give this a try. We're gonna power it on and we'll see if the airbags deploy. I'm betting Audi already figured this out, but I don't know, it's a risk, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're back in the front of the car. So that is the airbag that should deploy, and maybe if there's side curtain airbags, those will deploy. I'm sitting right in front of this one. I'm pretty sure this one's not going to deploy, but just in case, I've set my seat back a little bit, and we're just gonna, you know, if it deploys, it's like I'm in a crash, and then I got an X amount of dollars to fix the airbags, but we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna, so no airbags have deployed, and I turned on the car. Let's see what happens when I start the engine. So pressing the clutch. Thank God, no airbags. I think we're dealing with risk successfully, so far at least. Anyways, so let's turn off the car and we'll go into some of the details of how I took this seat out of the car. Okay, so this is the driver's seat. I haven't pulled it out yet, but basically if you look right here, this pops off and it reveals a screw. Hold on a second. So, okay, we've popped that off. So you can see the screw. This is basically a triple square nut, as they call it. So theoretically you should be able to turn it with a hex nut, but I wouldn't recommend that at all. So basically, do yourself a favor, buy the proper tool, three square hex nut, and it's an M10. So you're just basically going to screw that off, and you should actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you should probably start with the back. So the back, you can see that same bolt right there is exactly the same bolt. All you got to do is unscrew that, and then you move the seat backwards, unscrew that, and then pull out those connectors I was showing you earlier. And the summary of all that is how you get your seats out and without firing off the airbags. And the big takeaway from this one is don't spend holy crap, my papers are flying around. Don't spend the 60 something bucks I spent on the special tool with Snap-on for the VAS 6281 lockout adapter, because that's already part of the Audi system and you really don't need it according to the manual. So lessons learned, and we'll pull this seat out and lose a few pounds, and we'll be that much more progressive towards that horsepower gain I'm looking for. So have a good night.